In this variation, we are going to elevate one hand to create a shift in balance of the athlete. It is preferred to start with a flat, sturdy, elevated surface, such as a yoga block or small box, before moving to a more unstable object like a medicine ball. This variation allows athletes to safely begin working on the ability to hold their body weight unevenly and stay balanced. Athletes such as cheerleaders and gymnasts would benefit from this variation. To begin, place feet neutrally on a sturdy elevated surface, with only the balls of your feet on the given surface. Your heels should be hanging off. From here, push up through your toes and drive your calves up and bring them down back to starting position. Repeat 8 times. For this variation, we will be placing our feet into a different position. Our toes will be inverted and touching, and heels will remain hanging off the elevated surface. This exercise places more emphasis on the shins than the standard calf raises. For this next variation, our heels will be touching while still hanging off the edge of the elevated surface. Turning the feet in an outward position places more emphasis on the lateral gastrocnemius muscles. All variations are great for ankle stability and injury prevention of the ankles. To begin an elevated Swiss ball push-up, start with arms shoulder width apart. Next, place ball behind you and put one leg on top. Engage your core, find stability, and then place second leg on top. Ball should be directly under your shins. From here, bend arms and flex the elbows. Once nose is close to the floor, begin pushing up back to starting position. Chest and core should remain tight through full range of exercise. With this variation of the elevated push, arms are wider than shoulder length. This alteration emphasizes activation of the pectoralis muscles and triceps. The range of motion is less than compared to standard push-up, where arms are shoulder width apart. With this variation of push-up, we will keep the elbows tucked to the sides of the body during the downward movement instead of the standard out like one would complete a bench press. This variation puts more emphasis on the triceps. With this variation of push-up, we will keep the elbows tucked to the sides of the body during the downward movement instead of the standard out like one would complete a bench press. This variation puts more emphasis on the triceps. Next up is glute bridges with feet elevated on the Swiss ball. Feet are shoulder width apart and flat on top of the ball. Knees should be bent with hips on ground and back flat while laying supine. From the starting position, drive the hips up while squeezing the glutes. The Swiss ball creates an uneven surface, forcing athlete to focus on the stability by engaging the core, glutes, hamstrings, quadriceps, and calves to prevent the ball from rolling out from under their feet. The unilateral elevated glute bridge is a more advanced variation of the standard glute bridge. The form is essentially the same as before, but the difference lies in the fact that one leg is up in the air. This creates an imbalance and forces athlete to focus on stabilization. The athlete also doesn't have the support of the other leg to help lift body off ground, making it heavier for the leg on the Swiss ball. With this next variation, feet will be together while knees are apart and hips are rotated internally. This exercise focuses on the glutes. This alteration was one I had not tried before, but I truly enjoyed this one and will be adding it into my workout based off how much of the glutes it focuses on.